Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartRadio. Did you know that, according to national data, 1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men experience sexual assault during college? The Hunting for Answers campus tour is bringing this conversation straight to college campuses, starting on December 1st at Clark Atlanta University. We'll be in the Carl Mary Ware Building, room 103 at 12 p.m. Come out and join us as we break down relational awareness, dating literacy, and how we all can better protect ourselves and build safer communities. We hope to see you there. For more details, follow Hunting for Answers on social media. Welcome to Hunting for Answers, a true crime podcast. I'm your host, Hunter, and today we're highlighting a case that shook the Durham, North Carolina community. A story of a young nurse who had just reached a major career milestone, only to have her life taken by the man she trusted. On September 10th, 2025, a 34-year-old woman was found inside her Durham apartment, the victim of an unimaginable act of violence. What followed was a confession so disturbing it left investigators and loved ones reeling. A confession so disturbing it's hard to comprehend. FaceTime calls to friends in the aftermath, an hours-long standoff with police, and a family left grappling with questions about how something like this could happen. This is the story of Auriel Lowe. Auriel Simone Lowe was just 34 years old when her life was tragically cut short. She grew up in Santa Clarita, California, a loving sister, an avid reader, and someone who poured her heart into supporting her family 150%. Auriel earned her master's degree in nursing from Jacksonville State University and moved to Durham to advance her career in healthcare. She loved horseback riding, motorcycles, and travel. But more than anything, she loved helping people. Auriel just wanted to make a difference in the world. Her stepmother, Teresa Lowe, said, "She always had a heart to think, I can fix this person," and that's just who she was. Auriel's calling was to help others. She spent 2.5 years in the ICU during her residency, working long hours, praying with her patients, and offering the kind of care that went beyond medicine. By September 2025, she had just been promoted to her dream role in the operating room at Duke University Hospital, on her path toward becoming a nurse anesthetist. It was everything she'd worked for, everything she'd dreamed of. But Auriel had another dream too. As her stepmother Teresa shared, she wanted to become a mom. She wanted to find a good guy so she could settle down and have kids. All that promise, all those plans, would be taken away. The man charged with taking Auriel's life is Christopher Brian Whitley, 31 years old, from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Auriel's family believes the two met on a dating app and had been seeing each other for about 2 months. Her parents never met him in person, but they started to notice something different in their conversations with Auriel. She seemed guarded, less open than usual. Teresa Lowe told reporters, "She was being more private about everything. I think he may have been overpowering her. So she may have been afraid to speak up if he was there." The family worried that Whitley's presence was always lurking in the background, that even when they called, he might have been listening. And as they would later learn, Christopher Whitley, had a history of violence. Court records from Texas show that in November 2019, Whitley pleaded guilty to assault, causing bodily injury to a family member. He received a sentence of 1 year in jail and 15 months of probation, along with community service, according to media-reported court documents. He had been charged with the same offense in December 2017, though that case was dismissed in October of 2018. After Auriel's passing, multiple women came forward on social media, alleging that Whitley had been abusive to them after meeting through dating apps. Teresa said she just picked the wrong guy, unfortunately, and she didn't know how to vet him. What I'm upset about is those dating apps. They need to do more background checks. September 10th, 2025. A Tuesday morning in Durham. According to the autopsy and Whitley's own statement to police, the attack began at 5:00 a.m. He told investigators he was in a, quote, poor mood when Auriel asked why he wasn't responding. When she tried to calm him down to understand what was wrong, he turned violent. He admitted to hitting her twice, then smashing a glass object over her head before strangling her. The medical examiner later confirmed that Auriel had passed away of asphyxia due to strangulation, details consistent with his confession. He claimed he was afraid she might grab a firearm she kept in the apartment. Police later recovered a gun at the scene. What happened next would leave even the most seasoned investigators stunned. According to police records, around 10:00 a.m., Whitley called his brother to tell him what he'd done, and then FaceTimed an ex-girlfriend, showing her Auriel Lowe laying on the floor. At about 10:22 a.m., a woman called 911 to report a disturbing confession. This man murdered his girlfriend, she told the operator. My friend just called me. He murdered his girlfriend and then switched to FaceTime. She's laying on the floor. She gave police his name and phone number, but did not know his address. Investigators used cell phone data to trace Whitley's location to Laurel Springs Drive in South Durham. Shortly after 12:30 p.m., Durham police arrived at the 1100 block of Laurel Springs Drive. Inside the apartment, Christopher Whitley had barricaded himself. Officers set up a perimeter and attempted to make contact. The standoff lasted several hours before Whitley surrendered to police. A short time later, he walked out peacefully and was taken into custody without incident. When officers entered the apartment, they found Auriel Lowe deceased. Paramedics arrived and confirmed she had passed away that afternoon, around 2:30 p.m., according to police and autopsy reports. Christopher Whitley was formally charged with first-degree murder and booked into the Durham County Detention Facility. The following day in court, prosecutors revealed his prior assault convictions, and a judge ordered him held without bond. He remains in custody awaiting his next court hearing, scheduled for January 15th, 2026. Paul and Teresa Lowe are living every parent's worst nightmare. Paul told reporters, "All the words you've heard 1,000 times, they're true. You're just numb. You don't know what to feel for a while. It's a unique kind of pain, losing a child. Auriel's passing is part of a horrific pattern across North Carolina. According to the North Carolina Coalition Against Domestic Violence, state data show at least 90 domestic violence homicides in 2024. Some reports list as many as 94. That's nearly a 70% increase since 2018. About 3/4 of those killings involved a firearm, according to the Coalition's 2024 report. Experts say the lingering effects of the pandemic, combined with economic stress and a shortage of affordable housing, has kept these numbers high, creating conditions that continue to fuel violence across the state. Auriel's family doesn't want her passing to be in vain. They're calling for change, especially when it comes to safety on dating apps and the systems that allow dangerous people to slip through the cracks. This case raises urgent questions about dating app accountability. After Auriel's death, several women had come forward saying they experienced abuse after meeting Christopher Wiley online. Though he had a prior domestic violence conviction, he was still able to match on dating apps. What safeguards do these platforms have to protect users? And should companies be required to run background checks for histories of violence? Today, most major dating apps do not conduct mandatory criminal checks. Instead, they offer optional screening tools through third-party services like Garbo, which users can choose to access themselves. Auriel Lowe's family believes stronger protections could save lives. Teresa described Auriel as a ray of sunshine, the kind of person who made everyone around her better. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family and friends of Auriel Lowe. Her family has created a GoFundMe campaign titled Honoring Auriel and Supporting the Lowe Family to help with funeral expenses and keep her memory alive. If you'd like to contribute, you can find the link in the description below, along with resources if you or someone you know is experiencing a similar situation. Anyone with information about this case should contact Investigator A. Bongarten at the Durham Police Department. You can also call CrimeStoppers or submit a tip online. That contact information can be found in the description below. As we close out this episode, remember to share Auriel's story to help spread awareness and maybe prevent a similar tragedy from happening. Don't forget to follow Hunting for Answers to stay updated on Auriel's case and others like it. Subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more true crime stories and updates. And if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to share your thoughts on this case in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode. Until next time. Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network. For more podcasts from the Black Effect Podcast Network, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.